Hey, really happy to bring you this gameplay. The female Quarian Engineer is my favourite engineer. She's really overlooked actually. Great potential here, but I can appreciate why she would be in when you're looking at all the other engineers out there. I mean, there's some really powerful engineers, and technically she's not one of them, but I'm going to show you how you can use it to some great effect actually. She's overlooked though, I bet you, because of that sentry turret power. I'm going to recommend you spec out of it completely. It is pretty useless. I mean, it attacks too infrequently to be useful. The flamethrower evolution is inconsistent in setting up fire explosions, and since all the pets got nerfed, nobody gives a damn about it. So it's no good to you. Just spec out of it, and we're gonna treat ourselves to all of the other powers we got here. We are going to look at Incinerate now. For her though, I'm going to recommend you go with damage for the first evolution, and then burning damage, so that now when we strike with Incinerate, it's gonna do a fair bit actually. It's not a bad power. It is going to help us. You'll probably see it in the kill feed that Incinerate is burning a lot of stuff to death. But for her, I'm going to recommend you go with the freeze combo evolution for the final one. This increases damage to frozen and chilled targets by additional 100%. So that's twice the damage there. We're looking at, normally it's 643, so we're going to be looking at 1200 and something there. So that's really nice damage. She's one of the only characters I'd actually recommend freeze combo in Incinerate, to be honest. I mean, armor damage, you can take that if you want. That's one of the better evolutions for her, but she's got Cryo Blast, so let's use it. Let's take the freeze combo. The only other character I'd probably recommend it on is the Paladin, because he's got Snap Freeze, the ultimate ice move, to be honest. But well, we'll cover that when I'm playing with the Paladin. Cryoblast is the same. This is how I do recommend you build it. Go for Radius, Cryo Explosion, and Frozen Vulnerability. So you've got a really nice debuff there. We're going to be debuffing a lot of enemies if they ever dare to bunch together. And for Quarian Defender now, this is a caster character, so we want damage and capacity, and power damage, and then we're going to take weapon damage. And full fitness then. So, Quarians are squishy as hell, they really are. Durability, shield recharge, fitness expert. We've got 825 health, but they've got 990 shield, so better shields than most of the squishier ones, but it's really not big of a difference. Normally if like a captain trooper sort of spots you and opens fire on you, you're going to go down. You really are. She's soft. Now for the weapon, I'm going to recommend the Talon. Yeah, I do love the Talon. Stick the piercing mod and the heavy barrel on this one. Oh, I'm sorry to keep giving you mixed messages, but just ignore what I said in the last video. The Talon does do shield and barrier bonus damage, 150% damage it does to those two things. I got trolled by Dom. I knew I was right, but he convinced me I was wrong. No, it does. Shield and barrier, 150 damage there, so Talon's fantastic. Get that on. You could also use the Scorpion, because what we're going to be doing is doing a lot of tech bursts and stuff with this character. So obviously the Scorpion's great for applying ammo, it really is, and plus it staggers like crazy the enemy, so it's going to keep a lot of aggro off your soft character. There's a load of good shotguns you can use. The Wraith works very much like the Talon, just you're trading capacity for damage really, but it's a really great gun to put on her. You can obviously you can go nuts though. You can put the Claymore on her. It does work. It really does work. I know what you're thinking. What, power character with a Claymore? It does work, but I got a build like that, so I'll leave it till then. I don't want to alienate people though. I know I seem to just stick with the gold and the ultra rare guns, but there are plenty of guns that function in the same way. They're weaker, which is why I don't recommend them. You've got a goal now, okay? You want Wraith, Talon, and Scorpion, but yeah, you can, if you haven't got them. There is the Disciple. That will work to a similar effect as the Eviscerator. And there's even the Scimitar if you're really new to the game, okay? And you can use an SMG on this character, like I'd recommend the Hurricane and the Collector SMG as usual. SMGs are great caster weapons, but we really just want to sort of hit the enemy hard and just strip their shields and apply our elemental ammo, and yes, that is what I'm going to be recommending for the equipment. Elemental ammo. I'm going to use Disruptor. So we're gonna get tech burst with just about everything we incinerate, and obviously you can use incendiary ammo. That might even it is going to be better, to be honest. Fire explosions are, but no, I'm going to use Disruptor. I got a ton of this stuff. Cryo as well. You can use Cryo to try and get some Cryo blasts. It's a tricky one though, because you do have to actually freeze solid the enemy if you're going to get a Cryo explosion, which Cryo rounds don't always do. I must say, I mean, Cryo rounds 4 have got a freeze chance rating of 2.2. Don't even know what that means, but it's not saying guaranteed, so that's that's the issue there. Okay. For your armor bonus, I am going to recommend a Cyclonic Modulator. Okay, she, like I said, squishy as hell. You need the health. I've only got Cyclonic Modulator once, and it's not even worth wasting my time, to be honest. I'm going to stick a Power Amplifier 4 on. Okay. Obviously, we're going to have the pistol rail amp, and for the gear, I'm going to use the Survivor loadout. Obviously, because I haven't got my Cyclonic Modulator, I'm going to use the Survivor loadout and just basically survive on ops packs. But obviously, if you've got your Cyclonic Modulator on, you can use a Mental Focuser for power damage, and then the Engineering Kit even better. Okay, so that's the 15% tech powers. But basically, you want health and you want power damage for this character. Let's jump into the gameplay and see it in action. That old familiar setting, me and Dom, 2 pugs, doing an unknown gold again. This is a nice gameplay though. There's I got everything I wanted to show with the Quarian female engineer. She's a little rough around the edges, but I think that's what I love about her. Because basically she's got like, obviously the sentry turret's a joke, and then you got Cryoblast, which is it's a decent debuff, but there are they're better, and then it's got Incinerate, which is a mediocre like attack power. So there's you can understand why she's overlooked, but you're about to see how great just having like a shield stripping gun with a lot of force behind it that's going to stagger the enemy, and obviously just putting disruptor rounds in so we can just get lots of tech bursts and stuff with it. Because you remember the tech bursts are going to be on top of cryo blasted enemies, so they're going to hit really hard, and as is Incinerate. So the thing triggering the tech burst is doing a lot of damage, and the tech burst itself is going to just wreck them, and you're going to see how really effective it is right now. See, there's Incinerate just burning the cannibal to death. Yeah, so this is Reapers on Vancouver. I really like this map, actually. I don't get it enough, to be honest. I do really like this map. It just, obviously, because it's just like a big square, it flows really nice, to be honest. But that's the rinse and repeat cycle there. It's just literally see an enemy, cryoblast, shoot it with the Talon until I'm ready. Just keep shooting it with the Talon until the Incinerate is ready to be used. The Incinerate's going to swoop in. I'm going to get a huge tech burst. It's going to be really powerful, actually. It's another reason why I love Vancouver. There's lots of opportunities for grabs in this map, and they're always fun. Well, the most visually beautiful. I mean, the other two Earth DLC maps were very pretty, but I really don't like them, to be honest. I hate Rio, to be honest. I really dislike Rio. It's just too big for a 4-person game. It really is. All the objectives on it are a real chore. They always require you to run from one side of the map to the other. It's quite monotonous, and I really don't care for London, to be honest. It's basically just got one big death zone in the middle, and then you're forced to just take these long-winded walks around the outside with the ultimate trap, which is the balcony at the top. Lots of beginners make the mistake of just trying to camp up there the whole game. There's no ammo boxes up there, so your resources will run dry quickly. but with Vancouver, you just it's basically like a big. It feels to me, I just sort of play like a big glacier. You know, I'm just gonna run around in like a sort of a simple lap around the map and just take out everything in sight. Got Reapers again. I know. I think we've had Reapers quite a lot recently. Feels like it anyway. But there you go. This build does work against all of them. It looks really well against the Geth. Actually, obviously they don't like they don't like engineers and tech powers. It really hurts them. But as you can see here, these are like the armored guys, and it's just working. This whole thing, the whole Cryoblast and Incinerate, just works really well against armor. So that's obviously going to help you with the collectors just fine. You know, you're not going to have any problems with the collectors. And Cerberus, everything works against Cerberus really. They're your middle guys, to be honest. They're very open. They just allow for a lot of freedom in the gameplay. This was quite a funny moment for me in the game. It's like, so I called Dom over. It's like, oh no, I can't get this device done. This Bwnci, she's on me. So Dom comes over. He's using a Geth Infiltrator with a javelin, so he's doing incredible damage. But the timing's gonna just be perfect. Watch this. There's the shot. She bent over and screamed the moment he took the shot. There's a delay in the shot for the javelin. You really do kind of have to hold the trigger for a bit before it releases the shot. So Dom had it all lined up for a nice headshot that would have probably killed her, to be honest. And then he took the shot. She's bent over and screamed. He's like, "Oh, what the hell?" He was furious that she just she basically avoided that from behind. It was great. Obviously, there you can see though, Cryoblast, great crowd control. I was due for a slap from a meat slap from the cannibal there, but Cryoblast just sent him to the floor there. Any unprotected enemy is really got nothing on you. They're just gonna drop them with Cryoblast. You're always guaranteed to freeze those guys. Don't quote me on this though. Because I've never seen anything written about it, but from my experience, I think it's got something to do with the cryo explosion, evolution of Cryoblast. But without actually getting a cryo explosion, I get a cryo explosion, if that makes any sense. Like the enemies, when they freeze and you shoot them to death, no powers involved, nothing to trigger an explosion, like a power combo. They'll shatter, you know, that's what they do. Frozen enemies shatter when they're shot or killed. And I find that, you know, the shards that come off then actually do freeze nearby enemies, or at least chill them. It's something I've seen, you know, it's something I have spotted. It just seems to be that when the enemy dies and those shards go off, if they get touched by those shards, they all start to chill or even freeze themselves. And it's almost like you're getting a sort of micro cryo explosion by just killing an enemy that's hit with Cryoblast. Don't know if that's like a little hidden treat in the power, but that's if I'm right in what I've observed, you know, there's a lot more potential to Cryoblast than people give it credit for. I mean, ever since Snap Freeze came into the picture, people have just been like, "Oh, Cryoblast is a load of bull." It's not. It's really good power actually. It's a great debuffer, and from what I'm seeing, it does trigger cryo explosions quite well, really well, but not the kind of cryo explosions people expect. Because Snap Freeze is ridiculous. Snap Freeze, it primes everything, all of the time, every time. You know, you hit something. You don't even need to hit something through Snap Freeze. You can hit the wall, and something behind the wall will get hit by Snap Freeze, and then any power that comes next is going to be cryo. You can. Oh my god. Paladin's got crazy powerful if he's got any kind of casters behind him. Just cryo explosions all over the place. That's not the way I'm going to play him when we get round to him. He can hold his own. He doesn't need support, the Paladin. He's a very, very good character. He always has been. But ever since Cryo and Fire Explosions were made readily available, he became godly. He really is. Always a very, very, very effective character, but now he's one of the best in the game now. He really is. But no, Cryoblast, you know, yeah, it's the weaker of the ice powers, but it's not a bad power at all. I hope you can see that in this gameplay. It's like it does really good. The debuff just helps me do really good damage to enemies, and there are cryo explosions happening there. There really are quite a couple of them. So I'm getting like cryo explosions and tech bursts off the like pretty much every enemy I take on. And like I say, if somebody like Dom throws like a proximity mine at an enemy I'm incinerated, there's a potential for a fire explosion there. So there we go. We're juggling every kind of tech explosion with this character because I put the disruptor rounds on, which is another reason why I'd recommend them actually. And also another great reason to play this character is that ass effect. Oh, Quarian hips, aren't they fantastic? I'll always give myself a little treat and probably just do an evasive dodge in between the waves. Why the hell? Why not? It's giving Dom a shout there. Dom, get any upload. It's like, oh, alright, okay. Wave 6 with the Reapers is really quite easy. There's no Banshees whatsoever, so you're just dealing with Brutes and Ravengers. They're very easy enemies to deal with, to be honest. Ravengers are already nasty if they catch you off guard from across the map, and Brutes are stupid. They're really stupid, actually. So you can just you can dance around Brutes all day. Although I say that, I'm gonna think it might be this way. I'm going to get myself into a tricky situation and I'm going to get killed because the D-pad's going to bring out my rockets again when I need to ops pack. I think it's going to cost me 2 gels. The first gel, you know, just me playing smart, knowing I need to get back up. The second gel being a blatant rage gel. I was pissed off at that point that I died twice in that spot, and I just raged it, got up. Yeah, you shouldn't let the game do it too, though. You shouldn't let the game wind you up, because you get frustrated and you just start making more mistakes, and it makes you more frustrated again. It's a vicious cycle. Just take your lumps and keep going. It's a horde mode situation, and if you're playing unpredictably, you're going to force the enemy to be unpredictable as well. So stuff's going to happen. You're going to get caught off guard now and again. Right then, Vancouver. This middle section here, there's a big spawn. That's the one I'm going to nuke. Never recommend using that big ladder in the middle. Oh god, that's not a way to get around the map. You're always better off just running around, to be honest. The enemy love to use it. Stupid things that they do. Got to be careful when you go down here, because obviously enemies can come down both flights of stairs, the one in front of you and behind you, and then you're sandwiched. So try not to stay there too long. Okay. It's good to duck into it. It's a trench at the end of the day. You can duck in to escape some aggro, but try and fight your way out as fast as you can. Now at the top of these stairs, there's another big spawn. Another really big spawn. Ooh, she got close. Right out of the way. That office I was just looking at then, this sort of little office block. Back there, that's another big spawn. They do spawn at the back there, and around this corner here, I'm going to jump through and I'm going to get some ammo. Getting quite wary of my thermal clip usage, which I shouldn't be. I've always got 255 of them. Where I'm standing right now, that's another big spawn point as well. And they will spawn here. They will spawn on this whole pad up here. They'll spawn behind that big, I don't know what you call it, air thing. They'll stand back there, and they'll actually right in the middle too. The whole sequence, though, is quite important. It is quite important to get the cryoblast in first, shoot, and then incinerate, because then you're just going to get a really quite very powerful tech burst and possible cryo explosion as well. And it's good damage you're doing. See, the Bwnci is very predictable with a warp attack. You can almost time it. There's a rhythm to it. I'm going to do it unnecessarily. That's the problem with whenever people play Flamer, you can't see shit. So I'm ducking and dodging out of the way, and she's actually just putting a barrier up so the Flamer doesn't hurt so much. Well, there you go. Ah, no, this is the part I was talking about before. I've already described it. I'm going to just let you watch it. Started off with a really good choice, and then I make a really bad one and tried to slip up here. That's not going to work out. And there's my rockets out. That's what I got out instead of my ops pack. And then they're just going to slap me around again. See that my teammates were there. Could have been picked up, but I was pissed off. I just rage gel got up. I hate, that's really the kind of things that will make me do stupid things like rage gel, is it's being killed by stuff that really isn't my fault. I mean, that was just so annoying. If I could have got that ops back, I could have survived the situation, but I was given rocket launchers, and that was just so frustrating way to die. Hate that stuff. And sometimes when powers don't activate and stuff like that, then that ends up getting you killed. Very, very frustrating. But until we live in a world where everyone has the same very good internet connection, you're going to always encounter stuff like that, and you just gotta accept it. Even better, learn to just work it, to be honest. A lot of people do, you know, with a lot of sort of more competitive games, they sort of just they use lag and stuff to their advantage in some situations, and you can do it with pretty much every game. There's always some clever tricks out there. Seem to be in a Ravenger's nest right now. I'm just seeing them spawning constantly here, but I'm able to deal with it just fine. It's a really nice damaging combo. It really is. It feels good. It feels good putting out that the damage as well. I really do recommend this build. It's my favourite engineer. It's not important to me to be the most powerful. It's really, it's a game. It's all about having fun, and I just have a lot of fun playing this character this way. Right, this isn't going to go well. I see that Bwnci went off to what appeared to be somebody else, and then she came back real quick and took me out. That's what Banshees are. Cheap, they really are. She looked like she had a plan. She was going off in completely opposite direction I was, and I just took on the enemies in front of me, and then it seemed like in a second she went from all the way down here where Dom is, and well further, like she was in the middle of that spot, and then she was just behind me in seconds. It's like, oh my god, where did you come from? There's nothing I can do. Fortunately, Dom and the pugs are going to be able to pull through. What I try to do when I'm in spectator mode, though, is try and watch my friends back. I'm in a party with Dom. I can't really communicate with the pugs, but I am telling Dom, trying to give Dom a warning what enemies are where and stuff. Make sure, tell him if he's got his back to the wall, so he's not going to walk into any tricky situations. Of course, if I fancy a cuppa or something, this is a really good opportunity to go get it. Oh, nice cigarette break. See, that wasn't smart. I did tell. I did give Dom a telling off there. So why did you just stand there and take the Raven? Raven just shooting 3 shots, so you know. As soon as the blue lasers are on you, get out of the way, wait for the 3 shots, and then get out and take it on again. I also gave him also told him to get out of that LZ. He was standing right in the far corner there. He obviously sniping, so he had a clear shot and everything, but he was just completely out in the open. I thought that's not a good place to take the enemy on there. So then he sort of eased in there, got himself some nice soft cover. And the wave was done quite well, and now we're going to just wrap it up with extraction. The enemy spawned right next to me there. They obviously had nowhere else to go, so I nuked them. I do recommend holding the highest ground on most maps if you're to defend, and this is it. Not this little platform here. Technically, yeah, the highest ground, but I don't mean stay here. I mean this top floor here, where you got the ramps on either side. To go lower, this is the best place to defend, because the enemy obviously going to have to scale up those slopes towards you, and then you can just pop them. Brutes can have some incredible damage resistance, actually. That part where they put their big claw hand up in their face and sort of walk slowly towards you, that's not just for show. They actually have incredible damage resistance during that. Generally, brutes have got decent damage resistance in any kind of their armoured points. You do kind of want to be aiming for the butt and stuff like that, anywhere that's not armoured, to get maximum damage on a brute. But that was the game. Despite being caught off guard a few times, it was pretty painless. I hope some of you will give the Quarian female engineer a try now, because it is a great character. So I'll leave you with the scores, and I'll catch you in the next video.